Space Dandy episode 6, The War of the Undies and Vests, baby. This episode was pretty funny, like the other ones have been. And one of the things I enjoyed about it most of all, a lot like the last episode actually, was the musical portion, which in this episode actually came at the very end of the episode. But, I'll get to that, of course, because it's the end. But the episode overall I thought was really funny. I thought, for one, Meow got a lot of attention in this episode, which I thought was pretty cool because although he's obviously one of the main characters, he and QT are obviously backseat to obviously Space Dandy, who is the main character. But I feel like they really get pushed to the side sometimes, and I feel like in pretty much every episode, because it's only been a couple of episodes, they haven't really had much attention outside of maybe the first episode. Like everyone, I feel like got some pretty even timing, and maybe the second episode, Meow was fairly important in that one too. But I thought it was cool that he got his side. It was basically Danny and Meow on separate sides. One alien liked to wear underwear, the other liked to wear vests. Um, Aliens were weird. There wasn't as much story there. It's like, hey, we've been fighting for thousands of years. We don't really remember. I thought at the end they would end up realizing when they were naked, like maybe they were like one species was actually the guy and one was actually the female species or something like that. Even though both were played by dudes, and they both were played really funny. Like the blue guy was talking like Yoda, and the red guy was kind of like a stereotypical Asian accent in a way, which I thought was still kind of funny, but slightly racist. But mostly funny. I just enjoyed it because it was silly. Um, for anyone who may or may not know who Dave and Chuck the Freak are, they're like this. They do a radio show, and Chuck does all these voices, and he does like an Asian voice, and it was kind of like that when I first heard it, and it just made me laugh. I thought it was really silly and just like a stereotypical like Asian accent at first, but after a while I got used to it. I was like, it's not as parody or racist really. It's just the accent. That's just how he talks because it's just weird. And then the other guy's obviously talking like Yoda, so you kind of see just how weird they're talking. But they're fighting this war, and I thought what would end the war actually was that they would find out in the end. Like I said, one would be the male species and one would be the female species. And then I think before that, my idea was that maybe they'll find out that they've actually killed off the other species completely except for this last one, and that's what would make them like stop fighting the war. Dandy would mention it, or maybe Meow would mention it, and they'd be like, I had no idea, you were the last of your species or something. But they just ended up dying at the end, which I thought was crazy, and it was kind of gross when they like the blood like shot out of the red one because it just like the head just came open and like orange blood spilled out, even though it was obviously like cartoon orange blood. It still looked a little gross to me, and blood shot out, and then the blue one, I think the neck like broke or something. I wasn't even sure right there, but just blood came out, and they just died, and it was like, well, they killed each other off. Like Dandy and the team, they can't get the money off of either species. And then they kind of related to the beginning of the episode where QT's cleaning Dandy's room, and he's about to clean the surfboard, and they talk about Dandy and how he's like a poser. I can't think of the actual name they use, but he's basically like a poser who doesn't really surf. He just gets surfboards to look cool. And it was really good, and I love how the animation actually changed. Like they got all, it was like a really light effect over them. They kind of had like an aura coming off of them, and so they were really glowing, and it was just like they were actually in the water, except they were in space, which that somehow they're breathing. But it's the type of show where none of that matters. It was just a cool scene, and like I said, I really love the music for that portion, and the animation. I feel like it actually stepped up in that portion too, because it was like Danny kind of looked different because it was like him being in the water, so like his hair was actually waving around and stuff, and it kind of connected it where it was like him being caught by the underwear guy and stuff. It was like, oh, in the end it kind of looks like it's just him surfing, I guess in his speedo in a way, but it's just like that surfer look, and then Meow's kind of just holding on for dear life. But it was a really good scene, and like I said, I love this song, which I'm gonna have to look up because this song and the one in the last episode, it's like I just have to find these songs because they're really good songs to me. So I'm gonna look this one up, and if you know the song, please put it below so I can just not have to go through trying to find it, because I don't know if they made these songs for the show or if these are just actual songs, but odds are they're just actual, Japanese songs, and I just have to find out what they are. But good song, good episode. Aliens were really silly. I love the part when they met up to do the peace treaty, and then they actually kind of turned on each other. For one, I didn't expect them to have guns in their chest, but my favorite part was the fact that they like when they shot each other. When the red one shot the blue one, I thought, oh, he killed him and that was it. And it was like, they can survive headshots because they're aliens, so different organs and crap. And then after they both got like one shot in, they were just missing everything, and I was like, they shoot like Dandy shoots, and they except they got like one bullet at least. He would have completely missed. But my favorite line was after that when he's like, I see why this war lasted thousands of years, God, because he was like dodging bullets and rocks being shot up into his face. I thought that was really funny too. But overall, it was a really good episode. I'm excited for next week's episode for sure. Hopefully, QT's in it more, but overall, the show is just funny every week, and I'm definitely excited to see how long they keep this show going. Because I kind of thought maybe, this show is gonna be like, a lot of anime that come out where it'll be 25 episodes or so. So, with that in my head now, I'm kind of thinking, how long is the show really gonna last? But without any of the extra crap, this episode was really good. So comment below, let me know what you guys thought of it. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, and definitely let me know, since we've had music in these past two episodes, do you guys want to see more scenes like that where it's kind of just, in the middle, it's just that good, you know, um, dubbed over scene with where it's just, music in a montage or music and they're just doing something and it's really well animated and peaceful. Do you guys like those scenes, and do you want to see more of those? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.